and was dealing with a minor injury, according to head coach Neil Bhattacharjee, but she's back in net today for the Bearcats at 8-3-1, and we are underway from Lowell. Austin Barrick alongside Brady Kudo. Thanks for joining us on this drizzly Sunday afternoon. Binghamton hasn't lost in 7 weeks. They were preseason favorites to win the America East as we take a look at Rachel Welch. Starting her 10th game of the season, her 13th of her career, just a sophomore. Welch has been pretty good, especially as of late.
Look at that save percentage, right, over the last 6 games. Between that, the defense, we mentioned it, between in the open, Eckroth, the defense, and Welch.
Yeah.
That is the reason why they're not sitting at the bottom of the America East right now, really. So if Welch can keep this going, I'm telling you, this is a dangerous team if they can get firing in all 3 parts of the field.
It's a UMass Lowell team that has 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 draw in the early going of America East play. The Riverhawks were predicted to finish 4th in this league, and both through the first 3 games, they do stand in 4th place. The referees for today, Daniel Schenk Moreno, the lead referee, along with Kyle Averill and Ryan Tropiano. Binghamton has controlled so far in the early going. This is Alexis Worrell working against Eliana Pereira. Pereira, a player that head coach Mira Novak has really liked this season, especially as of late. Called her somebody who's been impossible to take off the field. She's number 9 in white on your screen today. Binghamton back for the first corner kick of the afternoon. They are 2nd in the America East in corners, well behind NJIT. Anna Buckwalter, a captain, to take the corner. Swings away. It's close. It's around the net, and it's in. Oh, my gosh. The Bearcats strike within the first 2 minutes.
All this is just a mistake. Really. Welch, she had it, wasn't able to put 2 hands on it. Took her eyes off the ball, just like a center fielder in baseball. You want to watch the ball hit the glove? No difference here. You want to watch the ball come into your chest, put your paws on it. It might have slipped again. We talked about how weather was going to be a factor, but nonetheless, cutting out errors is something, and limiting fouls as well, is something that UMass Lowell is going to want to do a better job at if they want to contend with Binghamton today. Certainly not the start that the Riverhawks were hoping for, but give credit to Binghamton. They've dominated possession here in the first 2.5 minutes, and they've got the reward, but a costly error from Welch.
Deflating for the Riverhawks.
Oh, for sure.
And that the goal they give credit to is Sophia Garofalo, making her 48th straight start. They give the assist to Anna Buckwalter. But you're right, Welch couldn't squeeze it. That proved costly for the Riverhawks. I mean, it's a UMass Lowell team who arguably played better than UNH last time out 10 days ago, as this one trickles inside the 18. Here's a shot on goal that goes wide. That's Marissa Sage, the junior midfielder who got a right boot on it.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Now they are changing officially the score to Alexis Worrell, number 13.
Not a bad idea there, though, from Bellin, as Worrell picks up her 3rd of the year. Not a bad idea from Bellin to really build up width and try to exploit some gaps, right, within the Binghamton back line. And I wouldn't even say that was a rush shot from Sage. I mean, she had 2 defenders coming on. You got to get rid of that quickly. So not a bad first look, really, for the Riverhawks.
Think about what UMass Lowell did a week and a half ago in Durham. They outshot UNH, especially in the second half. But with about 6 minutes to go, Maddie Guthrie turned her back against a pressing attacker and made an errant pass. And then it was a one-timer for freshman Abby Beasley of UNH, beating the keeper. And that's all she wrote. And so UMass Lowell has had over a week to stew over that bad taste in their mouth and when we talked, Brady, with head coach Mira Novak, he liked what his team was showing in all this time off. He said that they trained sharply. They were ready to go, ready for this opportunity. That's a crushing first blow in this one. Obviously, a lot more soccer to play out as Binghamton gets it in deep, but blasted away nicely at the end.
Even when we were talking with Mira and in our film study as well, UMass Lowell was the better team against UNH. Really, from start to finish, they were the better team. But this is a sport. One error costs you the game.
Yep.
Right? It's not like football or basketball or base. I know you're a big basketball guy, or baseball,
sure,
where you can miss a couple ground balls or drop a couple passes and you might be fine. You have something like that where you never want to turn your back to a defender, right? So something like that will cost you the game, but that doesn't mean obviously you were second place in that game. We mentioned UMass Lowell was the better team, but it's one of those things. You mentioned it up the top. You had 10 days to think about it, 10 days to adjust. You just got to come, leave the past in the past, come back stronger.
Now the climb almost feels twice as tall.
Yeah,
with the early mistake there.
Yeah.
But still, 84 plus minutes to go here at Cushing. Binghamton first in the conference in goals per game at 1.75. They're towards the top in many categories, as you might expect them to be. It's a team, really a program that rarely loses in America East play. Only 3 conference losses over the last 3+ seasons.
Well, Bhattacharjee worked for Jill Ellis of the U.S. Women's National Team for a number of years. He was at Syracuse before that.
Yeah.
He's all that guy does is win.
Yeah.
Right? All he doesn't matter where he's at. So the fact that he's created one of the better mid-majors in the country is not a surprise. Especially that the pace of play that they play on, it's very 2018, 2017 United States Women's National Team-esque, right? Those early days of Jill Ellis. It's almost a carbon copy of it. And the attitude around the team, it's the we not me mentality, right? You're playing for the name on the front of the jersey, not the back.
Sure.
Does UMass Lowell do the same thing? Absolutely. No questions asked. But it's about taking the next step. Binghamton's already taken that next step. UMass Lowell's going to take the next step. Not a matter of if, but when. Like we mentioned, today, this season could be the year if they can get play going in the attacking third.
I like how you phrase that, because it's certainly a UMass Lowell program that's been steady in the America East over the last few years. Mira Novak in his 8th season here with the Riverhawks, but they haven't really been at the top of the league. And
no,
Binghamton certainly has. They've been accustomed to being at the top of the league, as here's another chance for the Bearcats, but tackle made against Paige Luke, one of the better players for this Bearcats team, number 18 in black, so she draws a foul. Take a look at Paige Luke there, registering a point in half of her games this season. She's got 14 points on the year as a junior from Central New York. It'll be Anna Buckwalter, a sophomore captain, to take the free kick, making her 24th straight start. Buckwalter goes low, it skips. Welch doesn't secure it cleanly, and now smothers it up. Interesting play there. You don't normally see on a free kick from that spot in the field that you go low, but she did.
It's all about catching your opponent off guard. I know that sounds a little bit obvious, but especially Binghamton, we're in the 9th minute, you can take some risks.
Right.
You can do, especially when you're up a goal, right? You can take some risks. You can do things maybe that you normally wouldn't do, but that's the second time Welch hasn't glued her hands to that ball. So now we're really starting to see the slickness of the ball start to play a factor.
Welch doesn't have an opportunity to stop one there. Into the feet of Nora Bellin, our freshman who's been gaining more and more confidence as this season has gone on. Somebody who joined this UML program in the spring, coming over from Stockholm, Sweden, and Mira Novak had plenty of nice things to say about her. Last time out against UNH, she nearly scored as this one has skipped into the box, but saved by Welch. Bellin hit a shot that, or had a shot that hit the left post in that match. You know, talk about a game of inches and potentially being the better team in that one. No dice there. Here's a break for Lowell. With speed is Hurt Cebu. Carrying two defenders with her. Crosses one in. Poked around and stopped finally by Kessler, the keeper. Bellin rather make that Gabby Eckroth was in the area.
This is a very, very dangerous play on the ball that you have to time up perfectly, or else you're going to be called for a penalty every time. 30 in black. That was Garofalo. Could not have played that better. Really a great chance for Lowell. Good job by Hurt Cebu to get that in at the last second. Try to catch Kessler off her line, and she did. But a great, great play from Garofalo to keep this Binghamton lead at 1-0.
Garofalo, like we mentioned earlier, making her 48th straight start out of Aberdeen, New Jersey. A preseason All-America East player, showing that right there. Here's another one in Jakaya Davis, who we talked about in the Open, putting pressure on this UML defense. Riverhawks turn it over. Binghamton has spent a lot of time in the attacking half so far today. Here's Megan Baker. Skips one in. Dangerous. But it floats out for a corner kick.
I am really surprised at the pace of play of this game. I mean, we figured that Binghamton was going to do what they typically do, and that's keep it in fourth gear. But even on UMass Lowell side, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. UMass Lowell trying to catch Binghamton out on the counter, and they've done that a couple times.
Here's Buckwalter again, this time from the other side. Similar spot, poked up in the air. Baker gets a head on it. Still jostling for position, and Baker tracks it down. Megan Baker, the junior captain, making her 31st consecutive start. Has 2 goals so far this season. Both came in the victory over Bryant. Here she is again, centers it up, booted out for a moment. Buckwalter in there. And they reset it with Baker. There's a whistle that goes against the Bearcats. So finally, UMass Lowell takes over.
And credit to Marissa Sage there, who made a stop right on the edge of the 18 to kind of alter that Binghamton possession. Another good poke there from Nuala Rogers, who's really gotten stronger as the season goes on. But here we go, Binghamton dominating possession just like we expected.
Ella Brown forced the issue. Here's Eckroth. Eckroth has missed some time this season, missed 3 straight games in September.
Good ball.
But has come back really strong. Here she is. Eckroth has it poked away. The Bearcats once again, even in maybe a slightly vulnerable position, erase a potential scoring opportunity.
And that was Garofalo again, who got beat, and she knew it. So almost a hockey-style back check there from Garofalo, and good job by Welch to get rid of this quickly.
I'll tell you what, the Bearcats have been pressing up, not making it easy for UMass Lowell to clear at all today. Baker controls and plays it backwards to Garofalo. It's Sage defending against Baker. Here's Bella Brown, junior midfielder. Binghamton has really dictated the terms of this one so far. Got that interesting goal 2 minutes in off the corner kick, but even before that and since then have been really active in the UMass Lowell defensive zone.
And it starts with the physicality, right? It starts at the back end, and even on offense, like not being afraid to cleanly lower the shoulder, not being afraid to go low. We just saw Garofalo make 2 exceptional plays in the UMass Lowell attacking third. It's not being afraid to put your body on the line and it's not being afraid, really to do anything. So far, that's what separated these two. I think it's just the physicality in itself.
It's a team that's been so focused week in and week out. Again, they have not lost the Bearcats in 7 weeks. Their only loss 2-0 at Monmouth back in August. Nice deflection by Marissa Sage. She's been terrific so far. Here's Baker one-on-one, crosses it in, poked around. Welch got a hand on it. Davis flies towards the ball, but it's picked up by UMass Lowell.
Davis might have gotten away with a foul there.
Yeah, it certainly looked like some contact. She was working against Megan Banzi. Banzi, an everyday starter for this UML program, a senior out of Plymouth. Another cross. Binghamton has only issued 2 shots, both of them on goal, but they have generated many crossers so far in the early going. Buckwalter works around. This possession's been really strong.
Yes.
Brown sends it over to Alexis Worrell, who got credit for that opening goal, her 3rd of the season. Here's an opportunity maybe for UMass Lowell. Eckroth trying to track it down, and it's blasted out of play by Allison Falvo.
I like the idea, though. Eckroth realizing she had a lot of room on this near side to go down, make a run, but Falvo disposing of the chance.
Falvo, a senior out of New Hartford, New York. Started 11 games this season. Only missed the Cornell match back on September 14th. So many seniors on this Binghamton group. They've had 8 players start every match this season, which is basically unheard of.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the 13th game, and they've had 8 players start every one of them. And when we talked with Neil Batacharji, he mentioned that when you look at last year's 2 all-conference teams, the 22 players that made up those 2 teams, 17 of those 22 graduated.
Yeah.
And so he knew that his team had this inherent advantage entering this season with so much experience returning that other teams might not have. UMass Lowell has had a pretty young team so far this season in comparison, but Binghamton has, that continuity has been there all along.
But the interesting thing is, with Binghamton, their 2 best players is Davis forces one on net, and Welch able to come on and make the stop. Their 2 best are arguably their 2 best players, Paige Luke and Davis.
Yeah.
They're coming back next year.
Yeah.
So does the senior and grad student? Yes, he has Binghamton, UMass Lowell, 2 of the more experienced teams in the America East. But look at that top 9 to 8 freshmen, and these are freshmen. Especially speaking of Bellin for UMass Lowell, Novak was telling us she does not play like a freshman. She's so experienced. She's so mature. So when you can take a combined 17 freshmen, and when a majority of them don't play like freshmen, what more do you want, really, as a coaching staff? What more can you ask for?
Surplus, right?
Yeah.
Newfound gold. Here's some newfound gold for Theorin. Eckroth in the middle. Yet again, the Bearcats put out the fire, so to speak.
Theorin tried to force that in the middle. You don't want to do that against Binghamton, because when you start to become predictable, when you start to become forcible, they will figure that out, and they will make your offensive play a nightmare. So UMass Lowell's done a good job so far, aside from that, and not really forcing anything. Binghamton has done exceptional in that, but you want to continue to really not force the ball into some bad or some tight areas.
Emma Theorin had that cross just a moment ago that resulted in a goal kick. She's another one of these freshmen for Coach Novak's team, making her 11th start of the season. And a whistle against the Riverhawks.
Yeah, Sage got a little tug of the jersey there on Paige Luke.
Only one shot so far this afternoon for UMass Lowell. 2 for Binghamton, but it's felt like they've had a lot more as this one rattles all the way to Welch, but not really a threatening position for her. 2 minutes in on a crosser from Buckwalter. Alexis Worrell scored the goal after it ping-ponged around a few bodies, and Welch was unable to secure it. Baker fights with Bellin for the ball, and Binghamton wins it back. Here's Worrell crossing. Poked around. Luke was in the area. Bellin plays it backwards again. So often we've seen these UMass Lowell midfielders forced to play it backwards, given the pressure from the Bearcats. Interesting decision here for Sinclair. Look how hard UML is working to get it up the field. Blanco intercepts it. Olaya Blanco, a graduate player from Spain. And it's an offsides against the Bearcats, specifically Worrell.
And Worrell got a little too happy. Had a lot of room on this near side as Sinclair was shading in.
Another dangerous pass for the Riverhawks. They spent so much time trying to navigate this press from Binghamton that they haven't really found their footing on offense yet.
I mean, we're 21 minutes in. How many times have we said dangerous pass? Right? Like,
yeah.
That's how good Binghamton is on both sides of the ball. Right. They will force you into so many mental mistakes. And as we know, the mental mistakes lead to physical mistakes. So it's really a matter of just playing in your own game and not being thwarted. Good challenge there from Sage.
Binghamton, certainly a team that can wear you down over the course of 90.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, they finished 3rd in the America East regular season. This one to Eckroth goes a little wayward. Before that, though, they won the conference in back-to-back years, 22 and in 23. At least regular season champs in both those years. 6 straight times they've made the America East tournament under Neil Bhattacharjee in his 10th season in Vestal. UMass Lowell down in the all-time series 4-7-2. And interestingly, kind of, the home team hasn't won the last 3 matchups in this head-to-head series. Lowell with a bit of an opening for a moment, but Nina Hertz-Sabu got dispossessed in the middle. Sabu with a team-high 22 shots entering this one. Again, just 1 shot for the whole team so far today. 23 minutes in. Sage with a great effort to race the ball. Herrera can't quite save it with Worrell in the area. Binghamton has been ferocious to all these 50-50 balls today. There you see it. That tie last year was fascinating, Brady.
Yeah.
Binghamton took a 3-0 lead in the first half in Vestal, right at their home field. And then UMass Lowell came storming back and tied it up with just a few minutes to go.
I mean, historically, the America East isn't known for shootouts and for track meets, but what a treat last year that we were all fortunate to witness. UMass Lowell not the best when they play from behind. Of course, obviously, you'd rather lead, you'd rather play in front. But last year, kind of rewriting that narrative a little bit against Binghamton.
Now here's Bellin, the first year, so she obviously was not part of that matchup last year. You know, we asked Coach Novak about that meeting last year and whether that means anything or you can take anything into this one. And he's like, yes and no. Like, obviously, we'll play with the same DNA as last year's team, but you know, it's such a different matchup, different players. You know, the 3 goal scorers for UMass Lowell all graduated. 3 goal scorers from last year's tie, that is.
I want to see him on stilts. I really do.
But Novak?
Novak. Well, he'd tower over the bench. I want to see it. Be like me and you.
Right. I don't think I could handle being on stilts. No, I don't think my knees would allow that. Here's a free kick opportunity for the Riverhawks. Played in tight to Rogers. A redirect, a header inside the 6, and a whistle, and it looks like an offsides. It was Maddie Guthrie who got everything going there on the short play. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like the idea, but right there.
In the box.
That was... like Bellin, maybe? A little too close. Nope, beg your pardon. That was Bellin, rather. That was Nora Bellin.
Here's Davis, floating one outside. The ever-dangerous Jakea Davis. With those 7 goals scored this season, 16 points to her name. Off the quick counter by Binghamton. Davis made the all-rookie team in the America East last year, making her 14th career start. You see those 4 game-winning goals, 2 more than anybody else in the America East this season. All right, Brady, you talked about it earlier on the broadcast, how Binghamton, in these close matches, I mean, everybody basically plays close matches once conference play gets going, right. But to have that clutch factor as just a sophomore has been a real boost to this program.
It has, and the we mentioned it earlier, AB. The thing with both these teams is they've got underclassmen who do not play like upper class. Or let's try that again. They have underclassmen who don't play like underclassmen, yes. Right? They play like upperclassmen. So when you give yourself that, and then when your upperclassmen can almost be 4th or 5th or 6th coaches on the field, it makes the job of a bench and of a coaching staff so much easier. Nice high cross, punched away by Welch. And it just allows your players to shine and to really play within themselves. You did have one sub, Colin checked in for Hurt Cebu. Everyone's been able to play more free. I think that's why Binghamton is so successful. Because you've got Garofalo, who probably should go into coaching one day. That's how good of a player she is and how much of a leader she is. That allows the Davises of the world to just run free, play free, play their game.
It must be so freeing as an underclassman to play without some of that worry of, I have to also be a leader. Right? When you have all these other players who have been around the program a couple years longer, who know what it takes to be good, and they can kind of show you the ropes and just let you be yourself. And a lot of the discussion that we had with Coach Bhattacharjee when it came to Davis was just battling back from injury and not having that injury designation right now, getting her legs back this season, which has just been so big for her and her confidence.
And I think a part of it too is sometimes you go out and you recruit players and they're natural born leaders, right? And that's something you can't teach. I think Davis is going to be somebody like that. I think that's the next step for her. Is we know what she can do on the pitch, all the accolades, all the goals, whatever. I think especially like into next year, right? It's can Davis take the next step off the field? Can she be a vocal leader? She's a leader, we know that, but can she be a vocal leader? And I think if she can do that, this program is going to go to heights that it hasn't seen, simply
Right.
put.
Part of the burden, if you will, of having expectations on you, right?
Yeah.
When you're that good, you get greater expectations. That's kind of been the story with this Binghamton program, too. UMass Lowell trying to get it out of their zone. Eckroff stopped at the point of attack. Really nicely done by Paige Luke, the tremendous midfielder. She's poked off for a moment, but Baker has it once again, zooming down the right alley. Baker, the cross, the boot out. Here's Bella Brown, skips it in. Another chance in front, and Blanco sends it into the shrubs. Blanco, a graduate transfer from the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky. Talk more about her, but a couple subs here on both sides. Looks like Deanna Jedrzejowski, number 13 for the Riverhawks, has checked in, replacing Marissa Sage.
Yeah, we were talking to Coach about the adjustment from NAIA to Division, or not even just that, to the NCAA, right?
Yeah.
It's a culture shock, and especially you get to the Division I level and the America East, which is consistently proven to be one of the better mid majors, right? Just go talk to the folks in Burlington, Vermont about that.
Yeah.
It's a change, right? It's a change that sometimes can be kind of thwarted, right? And we say that about Division II and Division III transfers up to this level, but Blanco's made it look so easy, right? And that's another thing. If you can make that look easy, it's one less thing for a coach and for your teammates to worry about.
Plug and play.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Bhattacharjee gave a lot of credit to his associate head coach, Chris Hall, who's also the recruiting coordinator for Binghamton, about acquiring Blanco.
What a job he's done. Really. Able to go out and get players like Blanco who aren't necessarily from the area. Davis, of course, Canada International, but you look at the roster right through and through. New York,
Yeah.
New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. They dominate the state of New York. They really, really do. New York's a great, New Jersey as well. Really, the Mid-Atlantic region is one of the hotbeds for women's soccer in the country, and Binghamton has done such a great job of marketing themselves as a program where you can come in and you can shine. And especially in today's game, you can stay all 4 years here and be very, very successful and get noticed because you're playing in a top 10 conference in the country. You really are. That's how highly I think of the America East, right? So what that man has done and what he continues to do, and I will say the same about Mira on the other side, second to none. It really, really is. That's the bottom line right there. Since 2022, they've lost 3 conference games.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. It really is. So it's a credit to him and his style and his staff as well.
A couple more subs in right now. Hillary Hyen, a senior out of Panama, has taken the field. She's sporting the double gloves. Think about Teddy Two Gloves Bridgewater. So she replaces Pereira. Have to imagine a bit cooler here in Lowell, Mass than in Panama.
Just a tad.
Talk about transfers, too. Hyen, a former transfer from Jones College, the JUCO school. Same college that won Stetson Bennett.
Yes.
Was once at before he transferred and won a couple national titles for the University of Georgia.
You digging for nuggets?
Yeah, kind of my job sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Just once in a while.
A couple of rabbit holes, you go down, you're like, ooh, that's interesting, right? Lowell here, trying to work some offense. Have not been consistent in doing that today. Hyen gets tripped up in the midfield. Nice job by Ali Victoriano. who's been a wonderful delight for this Bearcats team. She's number 6 in black at the bottom of your screen. Hails from Long Island. Up ahead now, it was Buckwalter. But nice defensive play by Nadia Anderson, a new sub in as well for UMass Lowell.
Senior out of Denmark. You're talking about recruiting. I mean, we brought it up with Mira Novak the other day. You know, recruiting's so important, right? In every game I do, I like to touch upon it a little bit. Mira Novak loves Scandinavia, right? He's from the region, from Eastern Europe, but loves the region. And Hurt Cebu and Bella, these players that are so physical, and it's a great job. You know, Sweden, obviously, in terms of women's soccer, one of the best countries out there. And the fact that he can take that style of play, incorporate it here when UMass Lowell wants to be, they can be physical. And he's certainly, Binghamton has outmustered them in the physicality department today so far. But like you mentioned, plug and play. When you're able to take a different style, incorporate it, throw your opponent off guard, it helps. And I think that's why UMass Lowell has been in so many games this season. And it's a credit to Bellin's growth as well and Hurt Cebu's growth. We got a corner here for Binghamton.
Third corner, it's bouncing around, similar to the first goal, and it's blasted high. A lot of activity in the area. It was Buckwalter again who got things going on the corner.
Good job by Welch to punch that away, get rid of it. You know, that ball's still somewhat slippery, and
Krempowski.
Krempowski got the last touch to it, but good job from Riverhawks backline as well, clearing it out and not getting that final touch of that. Of course, that would have been another corner.
Looked like there was 2 or 3 more subs in a couple moments ago for UMass Lowell. So Mira Novak going to his bench. He only has 2 every game starters this season in Maddie Guthrie and Megan Banzi. So it's a deep team that he has. See you right there, the Iron Woman, Maddie Guthrie. High in with the throw-in. Got a first look at Kierty Craig today, number 17 in white, playing in the midfield. And this is Eva Gergis out of Quebec, controlling number 20 in white. So even more international flair. Lowell generating some good possession here. Craig inside the 18, and it looks like Lowell will have its first corner kick of the afternoon. Here's Craig working against a couple of black jerseys.
Yeah, Craig doing a good job. Just kept it in and forced a very good job by Craig to force that deflection off of Falvo to go out for the first corner. Veteran move right there.
Placed in, bouncing around, whistle. It looked like there was contact with the keeper, Rebecca Kessler. Luca Marceau, the junior forward, another recent sub in, was offering her explanation to the referee, but she was really backing down.
Yeah,
the keeper.
I think she was trying to argue that she was pushed into Kessler, but whether you're pushed in or not, they'll get you for that every time.
Marceau, a junior out of Newton, Mass. Described as an Energizer bunny by Mira Novak.
She's got a drum at home, do you think?
Oh, like that commercial?
yeah. There you go. Figured you'd get that.
Yeah, it's a good question. I'd like to know that. Good follow-up. I mean, we watch so much sports. I mean, these commercials are ingrained in our heads, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Under 6 minutes to go till halftime. Lowell looks like they need some energy right now. UMass has been kind of stuck in the mud for a lot of this first half, being outshot 6-1 right now. Well, UMass Lowell entered the day tied for first in the conference in shots per game, but a lot of that was because they played New Haven, who's new to Division I. That was a few weeks ago, rather back on September 14th. Here's a crosser inside, but nobody home. Against the New Haven Chargers, UMass Lowell recorded 57 shots. 57.
Yeah.
And they average for the season 17. So that gives you an idea. As Hyen plays it nicely, plays it backwards to Jed Rachowski. Good ball. Martillo for the Bearcats gets a first touch on it. A recent sub in. She's a graduate player from East Brunswick, New Jersey, number 14 in black. And just a big-time collision in the midfield, and finally a whistle.
I don't know if Luke was trying to do like the sack, the potato sack race there. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, you can't do that. You cannot try to put your opponent in an armbar as you're going for the ball. So great opportunity, closing stages of the half.
Sure. As
we hit minute 41 in Lowell, great opportunity to draw level here. Binghamton, not great with their set pieces this year.
Ava Kopicko sends it in. Kopicko hasn't played a whole lot this season. Only one start, but this is her 9th appearance. Played a season-high 48 minutes against the aforementioned New Haven Chargers last month.
Did you say 51 shots?
57.
57.
Yeah, outshot the Chargers 57-4.
Oh, my gosh.
In that one.
I mean, it is tough, obviously. New Haven coming up from Division I, or from Division II to Division I, but obviously not the easiest of transitions, but man.
Yeah. Anderson plays it out for the field hockey program here. Shannon LeBlanc earned her 300th career win about a month or so ago against New Haven. Yeah. Binghamton with the throw in, trying to put the finishing touches on a very solid first half for them. Something they're accustomed to doing. And they recently just beat Maine 2-1, previously tied NJIT, and before that beat Bryant on the road 3-2. It's a team that is 3-1-3 on the road this season. UMass Lowell just 1-2-3 here at Cushing this year. They have tied in half of their home matches, 3 of 6. Here's Marceau taken to the ground. No whistle as Luke makes a wonderful move. Luke nearly set up for her teammate. She does that so often.
Yeah, she does.
6 assists, which leads the conference by 3. The next most in this league has 3 assists, and Paige Luke has 6 of them this season.
Foul by Garofalo there, and it helps. I mean, Luke's, I don't have her 40 time on me, right? But probably the fastest player in the conference. So when you're able to use your speed and your soccer IQ, you create opportunities, an abundance of opportunities, such as Luke has created this year.
UMass Lowell trying to work something together here. The closing stages of a rainy first half, but the Bearcats stifle them yet again. Take another look at Paige Luke. Played her high school at Clinton in central New York. Younger sister of Maddie Luke, who is a 4-year starter at Bryant. So Paige got the better of Maddie a couple of weeks ago when the Bearcats went down to Smithfield, Rhode Island, and beat the Bulldogs.
That's such a hard place to play, too, as well. Such a hard place to win. So, what Brian, on both the men's and the women's sides, they both really solid programs, really great programs over there. And the fact that you can go to Smithfield and win, it's not easy. I mean, we're really winning on the road in this league is not supposed to be easy. Binghamton just makes it look easy. But really, a credit to them as a gutsy win against the Bulldogs. Great win.
Final seconds of this first half. Caslin, far side, taken off her line by Anderson, and Welch secures it, and that wraps up the first 45. Binghamton, both teams celebrate, making some strides to create more awareness around it here in the month of October. And we're underway in the second half. UMass Lowell in the white, Binghamton in the road blacks. Lowell hasn't generated much offense today. Austin Barrick with Brady Kudo here. Thanks for joining us at Cushing Field. Again, just one shot in the first 45 for the Riverhawks, as most starters are back on the field now for both teams. 7 shots in the first half for Binghamton. Riverhawks have not generated a shot on goal. 3 of those for the Bearcats, and this press has once again been really strong for Binghamton. It takes multiple efforts to clear it out of harm's way.
Like we mentioned, Binghamton has done a great job of, they've dominated midfield, right? And they've done a great job of that transition offense, turning defense, quick passes, solid in possession, turning it into offense. And UMass Lowell, in the first couple of minutes, they're doing the same.
Hurt Sabu plays it in. It could have been offside, so Theorin stepped away. But, that's an action. That's a sequence that we didn't see much of in the first half for Mira Novak's team.
Yeah, but that flag stayed down. I think if Theorin were to make an attempt, granted, if she was offside, right? But at least make the attempt. But I don't know, she looked on from our vantage point, but Eckroth here looking to make something happen.
Eckroth had a couple of moments in the first half, but never a sustaining moment, never a truly threatening position. Here she is again, plays it inside, deflected off a defender again. Eckroth, the team high, 5 goals, 10 points this season. 3rd in the America East in shots per game at 2.75. That's just the 2nd shot of the day credited to the Riverhawks.
And not much she could have done there. It's a tough angle. Not the best of angles as well, but Binghamton doing a good job collapsing on the inside, taking the chance away.
This Binghamton defense has allowed only 9 shots per game this season. So they're doing even better than their season average. 3rd in opponents scored per game are the Bearcats at just over 1.00. It's been a really, really strong season for Binghamton, especially since that 2-0 loss to Monmouth back on August 24th. 9 straight games for the Bearcats without a loss.
Looking to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2004, and it feels like that drought should be squashed. Should have been squashed a couple of years ago, right? When they made the America East championship game for 2 consecutive years. But I think this is going to be a team, and we're seeing it today. And they've held their own against power opponents, right? The Syracuses, the Cornells of the world. This is going to be a sleeper team to watch. If they win the America East tournament, the America East will be a 1-bid league, but if they win the America East tournament, when we get to the NCAA tournament, the College Cup and whatnot, when we look at dark horses, sleeper teams, there's going to be a lot of people, I think, that are going to point to the Bearcats from Binghamton and say, don't sleep on this crew, because they almost want to be slept on, and they want you to not look at them as the favorite, because that's when they play their best.
I think you could say the same thing about whoever does win the America East tournament.
For sure. NJIT as well. I mean, those are the top 2 offenses in the league, and even the defensive side, NJIT and the average, they're right in the middle of the pack when it comes, in terms of goals allowed, fourth most saves in the league. Whoever comes out of this league, and we could say the same thing for UMass Lowell as well. Whoever comes out of this league come November, whoever they play, that's going to be a dogfight. Yep. No question about it.
You mentioned the Syracuse-Cornell games. Binghamton tied both of those programs 0-0. They played up at CUSA on September the 4th and then played in Ithaca on September 14th. Inside now, it's Rogers taking the ground. Rogers has been a nifty little player here today, making her 11th start of the season. Had 9 shots on the year entering this one. Just a sophomore.
Yeah, a goal, 2 assists. Looks like she just lost her footing on that one, but nice to see other players other than just Eckroth really get forward. We mentioned Eckroth. She's not a one-woman show, right? She can't do it herself. And, the fact that Bellin is starting to create chances, Theorin's starting to get in, Hurt Cebu has had some really good runs. It's just positive to see. If you're Mira Novak, it's really a positive sign to see other players start to get forward. Rogers has been one of those players, but Eckroth looking to play it down with the body.
They've been stuck to Eckroth like glue so far today. Just unable to create an angle again. Here's Hurt Cebu, plays it backwards, and they set it up again with Megan Banzi. Powers it forward. Maybe almost looked like a handball, or maybe some sort of deflection.
There's appeals for a handball, but if you're Bellin, you gotta put a foot to that. She didn't even go to put the left leg on it, even if it's goes high and wide. No, that was usually if you put your hands up like that, I'm sorry, you're usually guilty, right? I mean, if you didn't do anything wrong, you're gonna go on as normal. Okay, hey, look at all the corners in college football in the NFL. As soon as they say, I didn't do it, you probably did it, right? Yeah. But Bellin, you got to at least make an attempt.
Yep, Davis goes wide left. It's the second time today that we've seen a close offensive play for UMass Lowell, and then quickly the other way, Jakaya Davis almost makes something out of seemingly nothing.
That's what makes her so good, and that's what makes Binghamton so good, and it's finding the holes, right? It's shooting through these gaps, these holes in the back line that UMass Lowell has created, when and if they're caught out of position, which they're not usually caught out of position, but they have been a couple times today. Another one right here, the left side of the field, all open.
Hurt Cebu in there. Rogers can't get it up ahead. Just once again, the physicality from this Bearcats team on full display. Rogers takes another tumble. Worrell, the goal scorer, boots it to the right. Right to Herrera. Hurt Cebu with a through pass. Nothing doing, though, as Theorin gives chase. Misplay here by Blanco. Takeaway here for the Riverhawks. They'll draw a throw in on the far side.
Yeah, good challenge from Baker coming in, taking the chance away from Jędrzejowski, who's been kept in check today, but a good on-ball play by Baker.
Here we go. Hurt Cebu, top of the 18, sends it high, but kind of a more legitimate shot here for the Riverhawks. Not many clean ones against the keeper, Rebecca Kessler, who's had a relatively boring day. Had to come out and make, kind of a save in the first half on that crosser that came a few moments after the goal from Binghamton. But Kessler out of northern New Jersey, a junior keeper here, went on the record last year talking about how much he loves the pressure. Got into goalkeeping after watching her older sister play. Wanted to be better than her. Love to see that competitiveness. Kessler, of course, did not play in Binghamton's last game against Maine. Dealt with a minor injury, but she's back in there today. It was Bella Grace Dunn who spelled her the first year out of the Metropolitan of Atlanta, Georgia. She did just fine against Maine, but the starter Kessler is back in there today for Coach Bhattacharjee's team.
Yeah, done out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, just outside of the ATL. But Kessler, you kind of have to have nerves of steel, and you got to love pressure if you want to be a keeper and an upper echelon keeper that Rebecca Kessler is at the mid-major level. And you mentioned boring day. I think that's a perfect word to describe it. It's been a boring day for Kessler, but you want a boring day, right? If you're a goalkeeper, because a boring day for you means the ball is being kept in your opponent's half. You're generating chances on net, which of course Binghamton has. But I like the way UMass Lowell has responded, right, from a lackluster first half.
I agree.
They're starting to take more chances, get more aggressive, win a couple of these 50-50 balls that they weren't winning in the first half. You feel like the equalizer's coming. You do. Hertz-Sabu's going to play this down.
Yeah, good rush by Bellin, but Hertz-Sabu gets dispossessed. The field has not been tilted in Binghamton's favor so far this second half, like what we saw in the first half. About Kessler there in net, and the boring day. The sub comes in. It's Mackenzie Brotherston replacing Ali Victoriano. But just to stand there, and I'd imagine also just kind of being out in the rain,
just sit there and freeze, right?
Like, yucky. But you also have to be mentally ready to make a game-saving save at any moment's notice. Brotherston, just a first year, also out of New Jersey. Had started 3 of the last 4 games before today's clash here in Lowell. Rather, excuse me, had started 3 of the first games of the season. So she's now here with an appearance for the first time since late August is Brotherston. Got a little banged up in the win at Marist there in Poughkeepsie, New York. It's a 1-on-4, but Binghamton wins the corner kick.
Good job by Laurel, who led the goal, to really not be thwarted. Didn't necessarily wait for the cavalry to arrive. A good ball in. And you're right. 2-on-4, 1-on-4, 2-on-4. And Laurel, that's a job in itself, just to win the corner from that. Again, tight angle, 1-on-4, a good play in.
Play it short, bouncing around, still bouncing around. A shot on goal, saved by a position player. And it's knocked out of the 18. It looked like Rogers, yes, Nuala Rogers, number 5 in white, was there to make the stand for the Riverhawks and keep this at a 1-0 game. Wow, mark that one down.
Yeah, if Rogers isn't there, that's 2-0 all day. But a nice pass from Ekra. The flag is up here for Paige Luke. But this, if Lowell comes back and ties this game, it's going to be because of that play right there. Rogers doing exactly what you're asked to do when you're defending a set piece. Put your body on the line, get in front of the ball, and do a great job of defending that goal line that was left exposed by Welch. And then that ball in from Eckroth quickly on the other side was really, really good, just a little too far out in front of Nora Bellin.
Hertz-Sabu skies it high, potential header. Eckroth couldn't get there. Rogers fights to keep it alive. Here comes Jedrzejowski. Rogers again. She's been all over the place. Inside feed. Bounced around. Hurt Cebu. And an offsides.
Yeah, just barely, but Cebu did start that run a little too early. But yes, obviously you don't want to end up offside, right? That's given, but that's not something that Lowell would have done in the first half, right? And I don't know if it's because they feel like they have to because they're down a goal, or it's just a change in the formation. Not even a change in the formation, a change in the style. Good ball in.
Worrell was the player for Binghamton who had it. Another quick counter for the Bearcats.
Yeah, you got a foul coming back.
Looks like,
I think, or just a throw-in. Yeah, maybe just a throw-in.
Nira Novak is about to send in 4 substitutions for Lowell, but they won't come in right now. Still 1-0. 60 minutes down, 30 to go here at Cushing Field. These Bearcats have been racing to the ball today to keep it away from players like Bellin and Eckroth.
I would love to know the amount of miles per game that Bellin runs. I really would.
Right there with you, yeah.
That kid. Same thing can be said for Rogers. That kid works probably the hardest out of anybody on this squad, and it just goes back again to what Mira was telling us on our call the other day. She doesn't play like a freshman. That's a big reason why. Not all freshmen are going to go 100 miles an hour for a ball that may seem out of reach.
Gotta fight for everything.
You do.
Especially when you're the desperate team.
Yeah. And even if you're up 1-0, this is the American East Conference at the end of the day. Anybody, any given Sunday, right? Anybody can win at any point in time in this league.
Today is a Sunday.
Yeah, and even if it was a Tuesday, if it was yesterday, if it was, I don't know.
A day that ends in Y.
A day that ends in Y.
I'm ready to play. And look, we talked about it from the get-go. This UMass Lowell team has had 10 days to think about that losses. Here's a shot on goal. Tremendous opportunity by Hirty Craig, one of the 4 new subs in for Lowell. Perhaps the first true great shot on net today, coming off the foot of Craig.
Craig has come off the bench twice now, and she's made impacts immediately. So I like that change from Novak to bring her in and try to get something going, because she's a firecracker, right? She really knows how to. She accepts her role. She flourishes in that kind of 6-man, 7th-man role, if you will. And her job is to come in and get the offense going. She's done that twice now.
And it's kind of been her role for her career.
Yeah.
Think about her as a senior, making her 55th appearance. 51 of those 55 have come off the bench for Craig, as Marceau took a tumble, number 22 in white.
Yeah, it's a silly tackle there by Brotherston, the rookie. Going to force a free kick here. You're going to play this exactly like you would a corner, right?
Yeah.
Tight angle. You can line drive right up the middle. Try to get a header and open up that near post.
Guthrie sends it in. Sage was in the area, still bouncing around. Here's Rogers. Almost looked like a hand. Here we go again with Guthrie. Similar spot. Plays it in. Headed out by Binghamton. Knocking around. Bodies collide. A shot blocked. Sinclair. Sage seizes it and works it back, and maybe a third time here for Guthrie. Inside, Rogers left alone. Rogers sends it in. And it's headed around and out as Paige Luke watches it go away. But look at Lowell gaining some real momentum now. Unfortunate touch by Marissa Sage that time, and it's a takeaway.
That was a great job by Lowell there of not forcing anything.
Kira Fitzpatrick in the game as well, number 33 for UMass Lowell. Another first-year player out of nearby Methuen, Mass. Other way again come the Bearcats. Rutherston, Blanco, and they reset it again to Falvo. Bearcats have been impressive in the midfield today with their passing. Blanco skies it forward to Davis. Lowell from its own corner, trying to create some space. Marceau does a nice job of generating the throw-in. UMass Lowell has been the aggressors in the second half, a 180 from the first half. This half, UMass Lowell has 4 shots to Binghamton's 2. And again, in the first half, that was flipped 7-1 the other way. Binghamton still leads 1-0 after the goal in the first 2 minutes of the contest from Alexis Worrell.
Binghamton is going to have a free kick here after the foul by Fitzpatrick.
The Garofalo to blast it away. Davis is there. She gets a head on it. Runs it down, sets up shop, chips it in the middle, but plenty of white jerseys there to clear it for a moment. Blanco redirects traffic, plays it in. Dangerous area, but a whistle. And Lowell takes over. I do believe the player was offside.
Yeah. That was Brotherston who was off. Right there.
Yep.
Brotherston just about a half a foot in front of that final Riverhawk defender.
Great work again by our cameraman up top and our replay crew, headlined by Alex Chun.
Great job by those folks all afternoon, all season as well.
These multiple efforts on both sides, but Rogers comes up with it. Who else? They got to work it to the middle of the field now. Or definitely flip sides.
Yeah, Pereira was calling for it all by herself.
Maybe a missed opportunity for the Riverhawks.
It looked like it. Pereira had turned her back at the last second and was dispossessed. You still don't want to force anything. Are you starting to run out of time? Yeah, a little bit. 68th minute. Certainly, you know, obviously not the 20th minute anymore, right? But do you pick up the urgency? Yes. Has UMass Lowell done that? Yes. Does it mean you force the ball into bad areas? No, right? You still have plenty of time to grab 2, right? Because simply put, you need a win today, right? You've got a chance to go joint second with the Catamounts of Vermont. You need a win today. So you almost need to start playing right like you have 5 minutes left or 10 minutes left. Get in that style of play, which you are moving the ball as quickly down the field as possible to try to get 2 quick ones.
I like that mentality. Why not? You do have the time, but you need 1 before you get 2.
Good job to pull it back, wait for support to arrive.
Fitzpatrick working it, but cut away by Bella Brown. She's been feisty in the middle yet again today. Brown this season has gone the full distance 4 times already. Many of these Binghamton players are accustomed to going all 90.
They get stronger as the game goes on, too, which you don't see that at many levels of this sport, right? But just add that to the laundry list of reasons why this team hasn't lost in 2 months.
Yeah,
right?
Crazy.
You've got players that get stronger as the game goes on. You've got fitness levels that just don't drop, cardio routines that I'm sure are through the roof. When you combine those things and you combine just the natural talent of everyone, yeah, you're going to have 6-7 players that are playing the full 90 minutes, and you're going to be undefeated for 2 months, simply put.
I mean, talking about fitness, I'm so glad that you said that, because Paige Luke...
I'm so happy.
Yeah, Paige Luke, it reminded me. Paige Luke tore her ACL at the start of America East play last year. Came back this summer. They were like, wait, what? You're already ready to go. As Rogers sends one in, saved by Kessler. And the coaching staff was almost shocked that Luke was back already. And Luke, in fact, set a program fitness record this summer. Coming back from the ACL tear, as you see Kessler come in and make the stop.
Yeah, that run, a little too late from Luca Marso. Saw Rogers kind of say, get there, and she's right. I mean, Luca's got to get there quick enough, because you're at least forcing a save, right? And instead of one of those, nice pass.
Yeah. St. George can't quite get there. And Kessler's been forced to be more active in this half, much more active than the first half.
Yeah, up to 9-5 in the shots department. Nice way to make a living if you're Binghamton.
So Sophie St. George, a senior midfielder out of Walpole, Mass. You know, Walpole got a lot of publicity the last week and a half.
I love Walpole. I do.
Really?
I just know a lot of people from Walpole, and they're all awesome people.
So, for me, Walpole became much more the map, as here's a run by Kangas that's sent up and over. First time that was Baker, captain. We can talk about Walpole later, but here's a good shot by Baker.
Yeah, Baker's had a great game on both sides. She's really been the start of a lot of these counterattacks by Binghamton. And good to see her get a good shot away, force a good save from Welch. Have to punch it over and be another corner for Binghamton. It's the 5th of the afternoon for the Bearcats.
5th for them. Couple subs on both sides, including Jakaya Davis out for the Bearcats, at least for the time being. So Binghamton up 1-0, trying to make it 2. They play it short. Good head out by Sage. Not much room to operate now for Jed Rachowski. And she is dispossessed on the far side. In a hurry is McCaslin. Grace McCaslin from near Burlington, Vermont, in upstate New York.
Yes.
Forces a goal kick. Nothing doing for her on that far sideline.
Yeah, Hyatt coming back for UMASS Lowell. So what's going on in Walpole? What did I miss?
You familiar with Cam Schlittner?
I am familiar with Cam Schlittler.
So,
he's gonna haunt Red Sox fans for the next 10 years.
Well, I don't want this to become necessarily a Red Sox-Yankees segment.
Well,
but Walpole certainly much more the map, given the recent performances by Cam Schlittler, starting pitcher for the New York Yankees. What he did against the Red Sox a week and a half ago. The same day that UMass Lowell played its last game, actually.
Yes.
It was the greatest postseason start. It was 8 innings, scoreless, 12 strikeouts, no walks. The Yankees fans in my life, let me know about it.
Oh, mine too.
That's part of the rivalry. And,
it's all.
He's from Walpole and got his family to supposedly commit to being Yankees fans, which is unbelievable. Here's a chance for Binghamton. Buck Walter. Diving stop by Welch. First time Welch has gone to the ground this half.
I like the idea, though, from Buck Walter, because it was kind of a little bit of a screen on that left side. And so that forces that far post to really open up. So if you can put it low and force Welch to almost time that perfectly, You have to time that perfectly, right? Welch, obviously, a good stop. A nice idea from Buckwalter. And UMass Lowell looking to equalize.
Fast counter for the Riverhawks. Under 16 minutes to play. They have certainly upped the tempo in this second half. No signs of slowing down. Sense of urgency continuing to rise. Hudson. Haven't called her name much today. Maya Hudson, the senior, works to get the ball back for the Riverhawks. She's number 10 in white. She's got 1 assist, 6 shots this season, and another trio of subs for UMass Lowell. 1 sub for Binghamton. Fitzpatrick to the bench. St. George, the Walpole native, to the bench, as well as 1 other Riverhawk. They get Bellin back in there. They bring in Annalise Collin for the second time today as well. Collin had 1 or 2 good sequences in the first half. Collin, number 6 on your screen right now. Got to imagine these players will play out these final 15 minutes. Give it all they have.
Yeah, UMass Lowell's got to at least get 1 here. That would put the tie with Bryant for 3rd in the America East. Binghamton, I would give them 11 points. They'd still be
doing just fine.
Yeah.
Near major collision just outside the 18. Marceau is in on the action. Here comes Collin, and she's taken away by Victoriano. There's Victoriano, who had to spell Buckwalter to start this season when Buckwalter was dealing with some stuff. Victoriano. Rather, Buckwalter got shifted around after the injury to Brooke Herber in the first game of the season, the senior captain, who they had high expectations for. As this corner goes a bit awry here, but Hyen has it. It is dispossessed, but back to Lowell. Sage fakes a shot. Now makes a pass. UMass Lowell, you can see, Brady, maybe the frustration mounting here. They've certainly possessed it more in the attacking zone this half, but those necessary, clean, crisp passes in the final third have not been there.
No, they haven't, and it's obviously that's part of the reason why they're still down, and that's one thing that's really been the main difference between them and Binghamton. It's completing a higher percentage of your passes and generating more chances. So Binghamton, a win as it stands right now, they would go atop the league. We just had a few moments ago, Vermont Maine went final. Vermont won 1-0. So as it stands right now, Vermont Binghamton tied atop the league.
Good point.
So if you're Binghamton, you're playing defense, you're getting the ball out of your own end, and you're cruising to atop the table after today.
Here we go. Hyen in the mix. Gergis in there now. Sage puts a boot on it. No handball call. Looks a little questionable. Bellin in the area now. Gets a body on it. Marceau to the ground. Here we go. Collin sends it in. So many taps on the ball, but nothing strong. Good give and go with Anderson. Here's Guthrie. Guthrie would certainly like to have that moment against UNH back and come up big for the Riverhawks today. Good crosser far side, just out of the reach of Nora Bellin.
2 subs for each team checking in, but notice at the most 3 Riverhawks in the box, right? In that last go. And if you want to come back, you can't have that. Bellin, that one just out of her reach. I'd like to see her try to take a stab at it. It's certainly not a bad possession from UMass Lowell, but you've got to start getting numbers forward. You've got to play with a higher line. You're in desperation mode, right?
Yep.
This is the 80th minute. You need at least one. Obviously, it'd be great if you got 2, but you need at least one. You've got to start playing with a little more sense of urgency. Good clear out there from Sinclair.
Gabby Eckroth is one of the players back on for Lowell. Nice move by Binghamton. Davis is back on the field as well. Davis circulating in. Davis in the box. She shoots. Blocked away by Welch. Rebound effort. Nobody there. Here comes a driving home shot. Wayward. Maybe an arm or something on the ball. Took a clear redirect. Binghamton wanting a handball off the shot from Blanco. Boy, what activity.
Yeah, it was the nice feed from Davis. Nice stop by Welch. Able to quickly get up. But it was that second effort. No, I didn't see a handball. I did not see a handball, but that definitely took a deflection off a couple Riverhawks.
Another corner inside, headed by Blanco. That's the 6th corner of the day for the Bearcats. Here's a crosser. And they'll have another corner.
So the way that a handball works, if they will call a handball on something like that if you make your body bigger than its natural position. So if you were to stick your hand out and stop that, your body has become bigger. They will call a handball for that 100% of the time. So because nothing was in an unnatural position, yes, it might have hit an elbow, but there's no call for a handball there. It's a great call by the officials.
Bellin harassed by 4 black jerseys. Here we go with Gergis running with Victoriano. They go from one corner of the field to the exact opposite corner of the field in just about 20 seconds. 3 more subs come on for Lowell. My goodness, they keep flipping players in and out. Rogers is back into the game, notably for the Riverhawks.
Yeah, this is the more offensive look. Kind of sort of like pulling your goalie with 3 minutes to go and you're down 1 in a hockey game,
sure.
Right? You want to put as many of your attacking midfielders, even your box-to-box midfielders, and as many of your forwards in as possible.
Collin against several defenders, poked away. Isabello Martillo, number 14 for Binghamton, says, all right, stay calm, guys.
Yeah.
It's calmness for Binghamton against urgency for Lowell.
Yeah.
Those are the striking emotions right now as we approach 8 minutes to go. Lowell playing its first home game in 3 weeks. Tied NJIT last time here at Cushing, 1-1, back on September 21st. Since then, they beat UMBC on the road and lost a week and a half ago to mighty UNH, despite outshooting the Wildcats. It was 0-0 for most of that match until the 86th minute. A Guthrie mistake and a score by Abby Beasley for UNH, and that was a difference in that one. So Lowell knows that anything can happen in these final moments. Here's Eckroth with numbers advantage. Inside feed Bellin. She shoots. And she just misses. Oh my, the best opportunity of the day for the Riverhawks.
Yeah, you're not going to get a better opportunity than this. A great job by Bellin to cut inside. Great feed from Eckroth. And Bellin, by 2 feet maybe, just skirted it wide. She had Kessler beat as well. What a sequence there from UMass Lowell, really.
Tremendous efforts from multiple players. And your two best attackers in Eckroth and Bellin. Here's another opportunity. Marceau with a cross. Rogers gets a foot on it. Bellin bounces it around. Set back up by Banzi. Skies high. Nobody home. Rogers in a fight, but Binghamton boots it away. Gotta love this.
Yeah.
High and off her line. Can't get to the ball. Time obviously favoring the Bearcats. Under 6 minutes to go. Hillary Hyen takes the throw in. She's played some extended time off the bench in both halves. Good possession here for the Bearcats. Precious seconds being milked away. And we have our first let's dribble it to the corner and waste time move of the match. One sub in. The clock should stop, and it does.
Yep.
Yes, when you're up in the final 15 minutes, the clock has to stop on a substitution.
And that's just to prevent time wasting. And that didn't stop. I mean, if I'd be rolling out a sub every possession.
Martillo out, Buckwalter back in for the Bearcats. Entering today, Lowell had scored 17 times and had surrendered 17 goals. They've played the last 83 minutes 0-0. But that Binghamton score in the first 2 minutes off the corner kick and Worrell finding the back of the net has been the difference so far. Here's Bellin. But off the body of Falvo into the arms of the keeper. Nora Bellin has made so many things happen today.
I like the look there from Bellin.
Her head coach described her as being relentless in pressing in our conversation with him. Mira Novak entering this matchup. Bellin has started 3 of the last 4 games entering today. Now 4 or 5. Here's a chance, but goes wide.
Yeah.
First great look of the day for Eckroth.
That was rushed. You could tell, right? Set your feet, get the ball in a comfortable space in front of you because she had the room, right? And you got to get some air on this ball. She didn't quite strike it right. You might have beat Kessler top right, as Kessler was shading that near post, that her right side post, which would be Eckroth's near post.
7 shots this half for UMass Lowell to Binghamton's 6. So 6 more than the Riverhawks had in the first half. Similar story to the UNH game. Mira Novak said that after that crushing loss in Durham, New Hampshire, the team was chomping at the bit, ready to play, quote, right away. They've had to wait a week and a half, been training really hard for today's opportunity against one of the best in the America East. Down 1-0 for almost the entire match, and now have under 180 seconds to tie this thing up. Got to give credit to this Bearcats team. They continue to press, not making things easy at all for Lowell to work it up the field.
Got to move the ball forward if you're Lowell. Have to.
Figure a win for Lowell is nearly impossible at this point. Playing for maybe just the equalizer. Goals have been tough to come by. Back in late August, Lowell went 3 straight games without scoring. Didn't score last time out. Here's Bowen crossing. Approaching a minute and a half left. Banzi sets it back up. Eckroth is over there, but it's headed away. Garofalo, the tremendous junior. Here we go again. But same story. Collin on the rebound, though. Works inside. Collin passes around. Eckroth in the area, but Hyen couldn't get it to her. 70 seconds to go.
Collin's got to take that shot. I mean, I like the idea of trying to set up Eckroth, but Eckroth was quadruple teamed, right? In that last area of Collin. She had the lane. Just go for that shot. Shoot for a rebound. Shoot for a corner. Again, time is not on your side. You need to get off as many shots as possible.
Maybe the last push here for the Riverhawks. Gerges sends it up ahead. Banzi dispossessed, taking the ground. Gets back up, though, as Davis controls. And Davis, with all her talent, pokes it away. She's still possessing, and it looked like it might have been off a white jersey, but the referee gives it to the Riverhawks, and they need it. 20 seconds to go. Banzi to throw in again. 15 seconds left.
10, 9, 8,
inside.
7,
knocked away.
5, 4, 3, 2,
and Binghamton goes to Lowell and stays unbeaten for the last 49 days.